It's week 2 of the National Football League, and this one features Eric Kendricks. He put up numbers last week with a 9-tackle performance. It's the Vikings and the Eagles under the lights on Monday night.
It's the NFL on EA Sports as you take a look there at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, PA. Tonight we wrap up an intriguing week 2 with a good Monday night matchup between the Minnesota Vikings and the Philadelphia Eagles. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Eagles team as they interplay here. They come in off a good win on the road, and now they hit the home opener at 1-0.
And last week's win was indicative of how good this team can be. It was a complete performance.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. Taken in at the 3. The Vikings offense coming out for the first time, and in his 5th season leading this crew, coming off his 3rd career Pro Bowl nod, Kirk Cousins.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in week 1 with 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
They start the drive with Cook. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. Well, this defense for the Eagles, terrific last week in the season-opening victory.
Yeah, they gave up 17 points, but that's what you would consider a goal for each and every defense, because if you give up 17 points a game all year long, you're thinking you're going to be a playoff team because you expect your offense to score more than that. That's what you're looking for. Room to improve, of course, but I'd have to say a very solid performance.
2nd down, Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 12 yards there, 1st down Vikings.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down. There are the numbers for Cook from a week ago. 9 carries, 101 yards, and a score.
Well, they set a nice tone in week 1. He's among the leading rushers in the league. I think that they continue to feed him the football and continue to establish the running game so they can get the play action and throw the ball deep later on.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Cousins. Complete. This is Albert Wilson. That one a 1st down pickup of 8. They run the counter with Cook. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. From just shy of midfield, Cousins. Looking sideline, incomplete.
Our game here, the Vikings and Eagles, the second of two on this Monday night. The Titans and Bills kicked off a little over an hour ago up in Buffalo. And this, our only Monday night doubleheader of the season. Rumor is, might have a few more for 2023. Jordan Berry out to punt on fourth down. Greg Ward deep for Philadelphia.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away.
Now for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
And he said he was feeling good in the lead-up to the season, and he proved it in a big way in Week 1 with 4 touchdown passes. Had the offense moving at peak efficiency right at the start of the year. Awfully impressive.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10
at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll get this one complete. That's A.J. Brown. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19.
In a draft day stunner, A.J. Brown was shipped from Tennessee to Philadelphia. It appeared to be the long-awaited answer for Tennessee at receiver, and that can be that same long-awaited answer in Philadelphia. 2,000-yard seasons and 24 touchdowns in his first 3 years in the league. He gives Philly the type of wide receiver one the team hasn't had in almost a decade.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35.
24 yards the gain there, another first down as well.
I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Hurts throw complete here to his receiver Brown. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
Pretty darn good, as you see right there on your screen.
I'll echo that. Darn good. 2 touchdowns, right? And the ability to be in sync with each other, right? To understand that he's going to be where the quarterback expects him to be when the ball's thrown.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
10 yards there and an Eagle first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. It's caught on the right side at Smith. And he gets this inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Line of scrimmage, the 9. 2nd and about a yard. Hurts. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
And the Eagles are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish out this drive with 6 points.
There wasn't even thought of a short field goal. There was no hesitation. They were going for it.
I think he was thinking ahead a couple of plays ago that if he got in this situation, they were definitely going for it. And you're right. It was a confident call and a decisive run to pick it up.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Here's Hurts to throw.
Touchdown, Eagles! Dallas Goedert His second touchdown on the season.
And the Eagles will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight.
Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdowns scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
This fielded right at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big 3rd down coming up.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And that will fall incomplete. Oh, they took a shot there on what will turn out to be the final play of this first quarter.
After one, 7-0 on EA Sports.
The Vikings with the football here to begin the second quarter. Now Jordan Berry on to kick this one away.
Here's Ward to return.
They juked him.
A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return.
And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. So here are the Eagles to take over. Last week, good result. They were able to beat the Detroit Lions, and now they are on the good side of the scoreboard right now as well. The Eagles in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38.
Hurts throw there, taken in by Smith. He's got room at the 30.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. Boy, he ran free there after the catch as that winds up going for 38.
And boy, CD, it's one thing to watch a great run, but when it's a great run with broken contact, it's like a cherry on top. That was a nice play.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
They'll throw on 1st down with Hurts.
And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot, force the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Throwing is Hurts.
This is caught. That's good for a gain of 6. 2nd and goal.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Hurts sets up to throw it.
And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. A.J. Brown A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Eagles go up by 2 touchdowns.
Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a first down now. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Play action now. Cousins. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down. Here's Cousins. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. Thielen with his first catch, and it's a first down.
When you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And Cook has it, left side.
And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. That last throw, Charles, is going to move him past 32,942 yards passing for his career, and that surpasses the total of the Hall of Famer and a colleague of both of ours, Troy Aikman.
Yeah, played from 1989 to 2000, and Troy Aikman, he was about winning, because remember, he had Michael Irvin to throw it to. We had Emmitt Smith to hand it to. Just imagine if he was throwing it the way they throw it around nowadays. His numbers, boy, would they be sky high.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Cook up the gut.
Oh, that one well designed as he'll take this down to the 30-yard line.
Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive, they went 3 and out.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here's Cook again.
Oh, he's got some breathing room.
And some determined running there as he'll pick his way down to the 12-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10.
Cousins now. And complete right side to Cook. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. So it goes as a completed pass, but they lose a full 5 yards.
Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
So after a rare misstep on this drive, they'll try to make amends on 2nd and 15. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And fortunately for him, he's able to get it back, but it will be a loss on the play. Fortunately for him, that ball stayed close so that he could recover it on his own.
And you know the prayers that were going through his head as the ball escaped from him? How happy was he at the end of it when he found the football again, able to retain possession?
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
To throw, Cousins. Setting up the screen for Cook.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Fourth down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota.
It's a 39-yard attempt, right hash. The kick by Joseph is good, and they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3.
So that kick gives them their first points of the game, CD, and it comes on the 3rd drive, but hopefully for them that's a spark that gets that offense going.
Yeah, and I would say if you're the offensive play caller, as you look at your sheet, you're trying to find that part on there that unlocks bigger points. They've struggled with a few drives so far. Finally got 3 out of it. How do you find the end zone? That's what he's searching for now.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive.
And with a 14-3 advantage already, we'll see how much they want to try to push things, if at all.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where it was definitely a game with some intrigue, as you can see by the scoreline. Zach Wilson, 4 touchdown passes in the victory. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they were winners in that one as they defeat the visiting Seattle Seahawks. Brandon Ayuk, a touchdown catch in the victory. Finally, let's get right to the center of the U.S. map and check in on the Chiefs at home in Kansas City. And they were winners in that one over the visiting L.A. Chargers. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, a touchdown run in the victory. With that, we take a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Vikings. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they had a little more success than their counterparts did in the passing game, as evidenced by the numbers there. These two coaching staffs likely going through their final adjustments for the second half. One of these teams is going to emerge 2-0. But who will it be? To find out, let's go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. So the Eagles with the lead, and they're going to get this football first as the third quarter gets underway. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Out come the Eagles now as he'll go on offense first here in the third quarter.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Hurts' throw brought in by Brown. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun, it's Hurts. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
That is certainly one way to frustrate a quarterback. Run those extra defenders on the field. Dime package, lots of speed, no space to fit into football.
Come on. Ready?
They'll try and throw for it with Hurts. And Pascal's got it. And they're going to get this up to midfield. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Now, this offense really looking polished these first couple of weeks. Here's 1st and 10. Hurts gets this to Sanders. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 10 more there and another first down.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On first down, Hurts. Open man is Goddard, the tight end. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down. The kick by Elliott is good, and they will stretch the lead now to 17-3. And they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. It's the Vikings' turn on offense. We get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
What a play there by Fletcher Cox to get in and knock him down behind the line.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the gun, here's Cousins. This one brought in by Jefferson. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. A
plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his, and he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Fletcher Cox able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Well, we knew this guy wasn't especially fleet of foot, but he tried to conjure up some escapability, but there was no way he was getting away on that one.
Here's Jordan Berry now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away.
Good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return.
And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
On 2nd and 10, Hurts. It's caught. Smith. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts.
It's caught by Sanders. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 12 more yards there and another 1st down.
There it is, a staple of most teams' playbooks, the angle route. A lot of times you want to take away that inside route by a back, but when they sell it like he's going to the flat, that is tough on inside linebackers. One false step, and that ball's completed.
Here's Hurts to throw.
Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown. A.J. Brown with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year.
And the Eagles will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So that drive of 4 plays.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Now the Vikings offense gets set to take over here.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, this certainly feels like complimentary football to me, partner, because the momentum from the team's touchdown drive looks like it's made its way over to the defense. They're working together in tandem now. Offense gets in the end zone, defense with a big sack on the first play of the following drive.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. He's got Smith here. It'll be a gain of 5. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. To throw is Cousins. And he coughs up the football near his own goal line. And he is going to go down for the 5th time tonight. And this one is going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. After the safety, remember, they also need to give up the football, and here's the free kick.
Oh, the return is Ward. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the 4th quarter, Charles, but you got the football, you're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It's going to be a gain of 6 on the keeper, but it leads to a 3rd down.
A little do-it-yourself run right there, and a nice gain.
And I like that he knew that that was about all he was going to get, so he did a nice job of protecting himself, took care of the football, took what the defense gave it. If they continue to allow him to do that, they'll find their way taking what they can all the way to the end zone.
And Hurts able to show off some of that elusiveness as he slides to the ground there, and in the process picks up the 1st down.
A strong pickup of 11 keeps their drive alive.
So finally, at this stage of the game, he lets his legs carry him for a big-time 1st down, but I think this is all set up by his eyes throughout the game. He's been taking it all in as he's watched this thing unfold, and finally the eyes carried the legs and took him downfield.
You're right, his longest run of the game, wait until the 4th quarter, and maybe that lulled the defense to sleep a little bit. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Another run with Sanders.
Yeah, this is going to be an Eagles 1st down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Hurts a handoff to Sanders.
He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. There he goes, left side. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Miles Sanders, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are on their way to a 2-0 start. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And the lead is now an even 30. So that a 7-play, 80-yard drive. And it was Miles Sanders who finished it off with a touchdown run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
Take it in at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
And the Vikings now heading on to the field.
Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses have put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. Throwing again on second down. Cousins.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Work to do here to avoid falling to 1-1, but this is 1st and 10 right now.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On third down, Cousins. And that is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Desperation time. Cousins on fourth down.
Got an open man finding Jefferson. And he is going to pick up the Vikings first down as they manage to convert. And that'll keep the drive alive.
Cousins again.
And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
Cousins on first down.
He's going to get this one down to Cook.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. To throw again on second down. Cousins. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the tackle.
Well, that frustration, Charles, it's been building on the defensive side of the ball, and unfortunately there, it turns into a roughing the passer penalty.
Yeah, and they should be frustrated because he's picked them apart the entire game, but it's got to come out in a different way. You can't hit him illegally. Stop him downfield the way you're supposed to.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one to put up mildly for him, and after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. 4th down, Cousins. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Eagles defense able to hold. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets them to 2nd and 4. So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Eagles, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0.
And they will hit the road next week to take on Washington.
Meanwhile, for Minnesota, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll get a home date next week against the Detroit Lions.